Hi, good morning. This is Fred Henning from outofboxwealth.org. Hope you're having a blessed day and you and your family are doing well. And today I want to talk about rerouting the power. And if you're a Star Trek fan or, just about any type of space movie or, even, any type of, movie where they're in in some type of spacecraft or spaceship and they're in a situation where they're under attack or something's going wrong. The engineer is always saying, let me reroute the power. That sounds more like an Amish guy saying it, but anyway, and he says, they have an emergency, and the engineer has to reroute the power. And sometimes we have that in our own life, especially when we look at ourselves energetically and when we realize where our energy is going, and also where the attention or where the consciousness goes, the energy follows. So where our meditation or where our concentration or where our focus is centered on is where our energy goes. And this can have a lot of different applications to us. It can apply when we have different types of things that have happened to us in our life, when we have different types of memories, when we have different types of experiences that create an expectancy, especially an expectancy for the type of results that we will receive or that we will experience in our lives. We find that these are the influences that are really governing our subconscious. And when they govern our subconscious, they are what are putting in basically the order to the material world to manifest whatever that order is. And so when we're in a situation and we're taking inventory of our own energy, we're taking inventory of our own life, we're taking inventory of our own experience, and we recognize that there are some things that we would like to adjust. There are some things maybe that we want to improve. When we look at our energy and where our energy is going to, we can quite often find places where we don't want it going, where we don't need it going, and where it serves really no purpose other than to drain us and cause, problems, cause disease, cause distraction, cause influences that are not working for our own best good. And the wonderful thing is, all of us have our own best good. All of us have our own authentic self. All of us have our true spiritual and physical path in this earth realm, and it's already provided for us. Sometimes we just get off track, and sometimes we just get off the path a little bit, but the path is there, and it already has our name on it. It's already custom detailed, custom designed, custom tailored to fit us perfectly. And a lot of times it's really just an easy adjustment to put ourselves back on that path. And the really, really cool thing is that we know it because we have peace when we're on it. And that doesn't mean that, if we're in a situation and there's things that we don't have peace with, that they're necessarily wrong. Sometimes, there's things that are adjustments. Sometimes there's places where we're recognizing the same situation. We had energy going in a wrong direction, or we had energy supporting or enabling someone else in a situation that, again, wasn't for anyone's best interest, wasn't for anyone's highest good, wasn't for anyone's ascension in life. And so sometimes when we have a little bit of resistance, or we find out that we have a little bit of energy being drained, or we have a little bit of tiredness in our own spirit, tiredness in our own soul, tiredness in our own being, we can recognize that, listen, our energy is going somewhere or to something or to someone, and again, it's not benefiting. It's not perpetual. It's not perpetual motion. And when you think of the true universe that we live in, when you think of the sun, you think of the planets, you think of everything that is constantly in motion, perpetual motion is in fact the way of the realm that we live in. It's just that when we are trying to move matter with matter, or we're trying to change matter with matter, that takes a lot of energy. But when we get to the place where we understand the freedom and the enabling and the re-authority of ourselves, of being able to change matter with energy, we recognize that that is truly the way. It is truly the way that we were designed to operate. It's truly the way that we were designed to live in. It was truly the way that we are in constant confirmation of the world around us. If you look behind me, you can see that the creek that I usually meditate by and make a video by is quite high. I couldn't do a video where I usually do because the water's too high. But when water builds up, when it has a momentum, it just naturally flows. It knows where to go. It goes in the direction that its synergy leads it, that motion leads it. So it is truly perpetual motion, and it's a continuous cycle that will continue to flow as long as it's not interrupted. And it's the same with us. Very, very popular in Oriental medicine is to find where the energy has been blocked, and when people have diseases, they will, check, the meridians. They will check the centers of chi, or ki, or life force, and they find, well, listen, it started up here, and all we got to do is restore the energy here, and then it will flow down to there, and then you'll be healed. And there's just amazing results that they have, especially in the medicine-less hospitals, which is something that everybody wants to look up, wants to Google, and because you owe yourself that understanding of health. And so when we are in a situation and we realize that our own power, our own energy may be going into directions that don't serve us, they may be even going into directions that don't exist anymore, whether they be old things, old experiences, things of the past that lots of people like to carry around with them like luggage. And, as the old scripture used to say, heavy burdens, heavy burdens. The scripture, I remember the scripture where the apostle Paul says, pray for those who oppose themselves, that they may recover themselves out of the devil's snare. And so we find out that our own adversary, our own opponent in life may have been operating in some of our circumstances, and then we have a place where we are opposing ourselves, but it's a snare that is only self-inflicted by our mind. So there is the power available for us to recover ourselves, that we can again redirect the energy and just unplug from places where our energy has just been drained, whether it be fears, worries, whether it be doubts, whether it be unbelief, whether it be any type of negative expectancy that we're expecting for ourselves as opposed to positive expectancy. When we unplug and reroute the power back to a positive experience, back to a positive expectancy, back to a positive vision, a positive path of our positive experience of all types of increase and wonderful experience of life in every moment in our future waiting for us. And we can also send our energy back to the past to be thankful for those areas that we did learn, that we did have teachers, that we did have examples that taught us lessons that we now understand, and we can bless those lessons and allow the energy to return and allow it to restore, allow it to be rerouted, allow it to be renamed, allow it to be restructured, allow it to replace any place where there was an empty spot, where there was a blockage, where there was a burden, and to recreate a new expectancy, to recreate a current expectancy, to recreate a now experience, because we don't have power going to support anything that is toxic or not supportive of our own best good and of our own energy supporting the best good of those who we influence and affect around us. So if you're in a situation where you find yourself aware that you can reroute your energy, you can reroute the power to support your own best good and your own best interest, and to restore yourself as a triumphant, wonderful experience of life and life abundantly. It's a blessing to be able to participate in sharing the abundance of that path that I know is already tailored and created and especially reserved for you personally to experience in every moment. Love, peace, blessing, and abundance. Genothi Seyutan, extreme best good to you and all of yours, you and your family. Namaste.